Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series we're going to be going over the sun signs, okay? The sun and the signs. And in this episode we're going to be talking about the 9th sign, which is Sagittarius, okay? So having your sun in Sagittarius. And before we get into that, just want to remind you, if you want to book a reading with me, you sure can, okay? I do astral birth natal chart readings as well as tarot. All you have to do is email me, samastroreadings@gmail.com. Email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. And I'll certainly get back with you and we can get forward with that. All right, so getting back into Sun in Sagittarius, okay? And the first thing I can say about Sun Sagittarius is the season, okay? The season, very important because it sets the tone. And in Sun Sagittarius season, okay, this happens in between November 22nd to December 22nd, okay? So November 22nd to December 22nd, if you were born in between those times, okay, you, my friend, are a Sun Sagittarius, and happy early birthday to you guys, okay? Very exciting sign, and the season is so important to understand in astrology when you talk about sun signs, because it really gives you an idea of the energy of the sign. Okay, now Sagittarius is a fiery sign, but it's not necessarily in a hot, fiery season. It's actually during the winter season, and this is transitioning, you know, into winter season. So this is the first time, this is the season when you're first gonna see snow. Okay, and this is very Sagittarius because Sagittarius is all about surprises. Sagittarius is all about foreign things. Okay, Sagittarius is all about expanding the experience. So the experience of seeing snow, you know, is definitely different, and that's why we have such a optimistic approach. Not all the time, of course, we get irritated with snow, but snow is also associated with a lot of positive things, like the beauty of it when it falls down, how you get to play with it, how interesting it is during the season. So very Sagittarius. Sagittarius is full with surprises. And also, speaking of surprises, this season is also during holiday season. Okay, so there's a lot to be excited about during Sagittarius season. It's no coincidence that it will happen during holiday season with all these holidays. You're getting gifts, you know, you're getting yourself ready for the holiday mood. It's a very exciting time, okay? Snow, holidays, you know how this season goes. You just go all out. So very Sagittarius, because as we get to learn, Sagittarius is very extra. And that's one of the first things I want to talk about on Sun Sagittarius, is that these people are super energetic, okay? Sun Sagittarius are super energetic. Okay, our sun sign represents our energy in the sense of how we express ourselves. It's the daytime when, you know, when we're all active and doing things. So this is an energy of action and expression. And when you put sun in Sag, this fiery sign that is all about expanding, I mean, these people are super, super energetic, super extra. They have so much energy, so much motivation. You know, they're just the people who like to overdo things and just be so active and extra. You know, you just can't stop them from moving around and venturing around and just wanting to really just be alive. Okay, so Sun Sagittarius, they're alive. These people are extra. They're extra energetic. You know, for some people, these people could be too much, like too extra, but my goodness, they have so much energy, and it makes them very exciting and entertaining to be around with. But it definitely can go over the top and can get really clumsy. And, you know, for some people, Sagittarius definitely could be a little bit too much, but the extra abundant energy is definitely here. Also, Sun Sagittarius, okay, Sagittarius rules traveling, long distance traveling, going into places you've never been through, kind of like opening portals, all right, in a sense. But when your sun is in Sagittarius, you're definitely going to be a traveler. You're going to be all about it. It can really represent your ego, okay? So you pride yourself in the fact that you've been in other places. You pride yourself in being able to go other places. You know, a Sun Sagittarius is not going to want to stay in the same place. These are the people that love to vacation. They always want to go on a trip. They always want to go on a vacation. They always want to go somewhere else. They always want to see something else. They always want to expand their reality. Sagittarius is a sign of expansion. So people are definitely huge travelers. It's going to be part of your ego and pride. And you're going to want to accomplish some traveling. You're going to have some traveling trips and goals that you want to do, you know, to feed that ego of yours that just wants to expand. So Sun Sagittarius are very big on traveling, and they're not going to want to stay in the same place locally, okay? They're going to want to change their environments, and it's part of their energy and their growth. So huge travelers, okay? A next point with Sun and Sagittarius is also that these people are super intellectual and philosophical. Okay, now, yes, I know these people are very energetic and fun and they just like to be everywhere, but there's a very philosophical side that comes with Sagittarius, especially with your Sun in here, because this is like your ego and your personality. But a part of expanding your reality and traveling and seeing different places and being interested in seeing different places is about expanding your mind. You know, our experiences in life is what expand our knowledge, is how we expand our knowledge and what we know. So, you know, with all this traveling comes a lot of education. You know, this is why Sagittarius are, I like to say, they're very intellectual and very smart, very philosophical people, because of how they expand their realities and how they want to know other realities. They want to learn about different cultures. They want to see the bigger picture. They don't just want to stay in their local area, learn the basic local stuff. Sagittarius wants to go beyond that. It wants to see the world, wants to see other people's systems, other people's cultures, other people's way of living, other realities. You know, Sagittarius is about, it's not just traveling to be in a different area, but it's also traveling to discover something new. You know, it's like an adventure, it's like a discovery. So Sun Sagittarius, because they travel so much and they love expanding their minds, they know so much, they're so philosophical. And speaking of traveling, you can travel with your mind, okay? So Sagittarius, they may not be traveling physically, but they could go into a library and travel through reading different books and going in through different worlds through, you know, books and knowledge, okay? Traveling through information by learning different information, learning different, you know, when you read books and you read different books and you read different ideologies and subjects, it's like you're going into a different university, because you're entering a different thought, a different mindset, a different culture, a different way. It's like entering, it's very much like traveling, because you're exploring the world and the wonders and the discoveries of them and the mysteries of the world. So you can travel physically, but you can also travel intellectually, okay? So very big thing with Sun Sagittarius, because again, like I said, that they're wanting to expand their reality and their experience in this life. They learn so much, and they do that more than just, again, physical traveling. They do that through researching, okay? Sagittarius is a very intellectual sign. These people like reading different subjects, reading different books, learning about new subjects, learning about new ideologies, new studies. Very Sagittarius, because again, they like to expand their mind. They want to learn something new. They want to go beyond just the basic education, okay? This is a form of expansion. So definitely don't be surprised of the intellectual part of Sagittarius. Very intellectual people. These people gather a lot of information. Sagittarius, they're the type of people who like tell you a lot of cool, interesting facts, cool, interesting things that they discovered. They could be preachers, kind of like regurgitating and telling everybody all the things that they've discovered through their traveling. They're a big intellect, big on information, big on understanding new things. So they very smart and have big expansive minds. So It's a lot to intellectually dive into with a Sagittarius. They're not just super hyper and active. They're also very super intellectual. And they're also philosophical too. Okay, Sagittarius, you know, they can be big on their beliefs, on their faiths, you know, because they're all about understanding the bigger picture of the world. Well, why are we really here? You know, so with Sun Sagittarius, this is a very fiery placement. Okay, Sun is a big star fireball, and then in Sagittarius is big fiery energy. And when you put these fiery energies together, you know, you get a person who's very fiery, can be very combative, can have a lot of rage. Okay, and this could be in a great way. This is, again, this super energetic aspect of Sun Sagittarius. But another point I would like to point out is this is a fiery placement. So these people are very combative. You know, these people could be, Sun Sagittarius could be very competitive. Okay, they could rage. You know, if you get them pissed off, you know, they can really pop off and really lash out. Their tempers can be really big and huge. You know, Sun Sagittarius, however, it's not like an angry sign at all. They just want to travel and expand and have fun. But, you know, if you put them in a position where they do get angry, their tempers can really rise. They'll get over it very quick, like all fire signs. But that potential, that fieriness, they have a lot of it. They have a lot of like rage, adrenaline, anger, and they can really like lash out. They can be really competitive, very combative. It's that fire energy. So, you know, with fire comes that heat, that anger, that temper. So definitely could be very hot temper heads, Sun Sagittarius. So with all this fire, also can manifest a very athletic person too, because of the physical energy. Sagittarius can be very strong people. You know, they have so much energy, so much adrenaline. Okay, like fire with fire gives you lots of energy. I always say these fiery placements can manifest into a person who's very physical, who can be very athletic as well too. So sports, you know, physical things can be a manifestation for Sun Sagittarius because of its fiery energy. Fire signs do manifest athleticism, lots of movement, muscles. Those all correspond with fire energy. You know, fire is all about movement and adrenaline. So, you know, not all the time. It depends on your chart. Definitely, there's a lot of Sagittarius who are not, you know, athletic or super physical and active. But if you isolate this position alone, yes, it can definitely manifest a very physical, athletic person, a person who has a lot of energy, a person who's very strong. Okay, because of all that fiery adrenaline. Fire energy does correlate to muscles and athleticism and activeness. And again, you don't even have to be in shape, you know, regardless shape, if you're in shape or not, you know, you just are very strong, have a lot of energy. You know, you don't got to be in shape to be strong. So definitely you can pack up the muscles here with this placement, and usually strong fire placements in general. Sun Sagittarius, this is a very optimistic sign, and this is what makes them such a bright light. Very similar to like Sun Leos, but Sagittarius, they're so optimistic. Okay, the Sun sign represents the energy that we express. Okay, the energy that we confidently express, we're comfortable expressing. So Sun is a very positive energy. It represents the light, and then when you put in Sagittarius, I mean, it's the sign ruled by Jupiter, very optimistic, all about abundance. These people are super optimistic, and their optimism is what again makes them shine so bright. And people love Sun Sagittarius. They really bring a lot of positive energy because of their optimism. I mean, Sagittarius to me is one of the most optimistic signs. They're always thinking positive. They're always bouncing back. They're always thinking there's a possibility. It's a very future-orientated sign. And with my moon and being in Sagittarius, I have moon and rising in Sagittarius. I totally understand this. Like, we're very future-focused, Sagittarius energy. So whatever happens today or now doesn't matter, because there's always a possibility of something else happening better. You know, that's how Sagittarius think. We're always on to the next. It doesn't matter you know, Sagittarius, doesn't matter if they fall, they understand that there is a future. So there's nothing to get mad at a setback. Also, with all that optimism, they're also very lucky, okay? Very, very lucky, okay? Sun Sagittarius are the type of people to, you know, win the lottery or something because of their luck. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Okay, so luck is really just opportunity, okay? And that's how I interpret luck, is opportunity, okay? And because, you know, Sagittarius is all about abundance and expansion, and because they travel so much and they put themselves out there, they give themselves a lot of opportunity. This is why they're lucky, okay? It's because of the way they expand themselves in life. And not only how they expand themselves in life, but their optimism. You know, they bounce back so quickly. So luck sometimes is an illusion, but it's really opportunity. It's opportunity. And there's no other sign that does opportunity the best than Sagittarius. Like, Sagittarius is all about opportunity. It's all about expanding themselves. So they do become lucky. A lot of times you can see a Sagittarius end up in a certain place or get a certain reward, or, you know, overcome a certain thing in their life, and you're like, damn, they're so lucky. And it's like, well, they were able to overcome that sickness because they had such optimistic energy. They're the ones to win the lottery because they do it so much more than anybody else. So they've opened their opportunities more than everybody else. You know, they get lucky because Sagittarius are able to take risks. You know, they're not afraid to jump and do it again. You know, and it's not that they're not losing or nothing doesn't, like, they don't experience fails. They do experience failures. They're just able to get back up, unlike the average person that has to kind of dust themselves off and maybe take some time off, or maybe not do that thing again because it didn't work out. Sagittarius, they're not afraid of anything, and this is why they're so lucky, because they're so optimistic and they expand their reality. They're everywhere. They're always out and about everywhere. So they open themselves to so many different possibilities in life, and that's why they seem so lucky. But yeah, it's definitely a lucky. Sun Sagittarius can have a very exaggerated appearance. Okay, Sagittarius is very extra, and when we talk about our sun signs, especially our sun signs, we talk about our image, okay, and how we express ourselves creatively. So fashion, our hairstyle, the way we dress up, all of that is associated with your sun sign as well too. And when it's in Sagittarius, it's extra. I mean, Sun Sagittarius people, they like to just dress up and wear the craziest, loudest outfits imaginable. Now, it's not always super loud or crazy, but it can be. And a lot of times it can be. Because, you know, it's Sagittarius energy. You know, when you're so spontaneous and optimistic, you know, it's going to reflect in your image. And a lot of times Sagittarius, they can just dress up in very bright colors, very bold outfits. Maybe it's incredibly sexual, and it's like, woo, like they are bold with their dressing. And, you know, for some people it can be too much, you know. It could be too many colors, or it could be not enough fabric, maybe too sexual. I don't know. Maybe the statement that they're making is crazy, but there is a strong, exaggerated statement in their image. It might not always work. You know, Sagittarius are not necessarily like the best dressers, but you definitely have to give them credit for their confidence. And also with Sun Sagittarius, you know, our sun deals with our sexuality and how we express it, our ego when it comes to our performance. And when it comes to Sun Sagittarius, these people are very sexual, okay? When you put fire in fire, you get a hypersexual energy, because fire is also rules sex in terms of adrenaline, okay? It's connected to our adrenaline, our biological energy levels. All of that is connected with sexual energy. But when you have it in Sagittarius, it's a lot. It's expansive, you know? So it's definitely like the other fire placements, Sun in Leo, Sun in Aries, and Sun in Scorpio too. Scorpio is this is no exception. This is another very sexual placement, but in a different way. Even before, like in the previous video with Sun Scorpio is very sexual as well too. but it's very intimate because it's that Scorpio energy. But with Sagittarius, this is going to be like the traveler. So this is going to be the person who likes to have sexual experiences with lots of different people that are very different from them. Okay, you could have a thing for, you know, hooking up with people very different looking than you, whether it be race, physical features, in terms of height, even ideologies, like mentally how you are. But since we're talking about sex, this is more so sex and dating. Very big on that. These people could really want to have an experience sexually, so trying out like lots of different people. Like I always say, this type of placement, and this is not all the time because you have to look at your whole chart, you know, you got to consider your Mars sign and all this type of stuff. But when you isolate this specific, it definitely is hypersexual. It's definitely a type of person who, in my opinion, would need to experience having fun, okay, with different people first before they settle down, because it's within them. It's within them. You have to know Sagittarius is not a attached placement. They are very detached, and they have to be, because they're spreading their wings out everywhere. They got to fly and see everything. So with their sexual approach, it's going to be like that too. They want to experience sex with many different types of people. So this is like kind of out there. This is gonna be a kind of out there placement, and this is not true for all Sun Sagittarius. This is definitely not true. Like I said, you have to take your whole chart. You know, there's aspects, there's your Mars sign, there's a lot of different things. But when you isolate this placement, it's definitely hypersexual. Also, your sun sign represents your masculine father figure, okay? And it could have been your mother, because we don't all have fathers in our lives. So your mother could have represented that patriarchal masculine figure. But with the sun, it kind of represents the pride, okay, of the family, okay? So like what we represent, how your family is outwards, you know, the things that you believe in your family, you know. And this could have all been in Sagittarius. So your father figure, or it could have been your mother, but the patriarchal figure, the pride of the family, was very Sagittarius. So it could have been all about traveling, okay, and meeting different places. Maybe you were, your father was always, you know, had a job where he was always traveling, going through this country and that country and this place and that place, always up and out and about. You know, and with Sun Sagittarius, you can manifest a father figure or any masculine figure, because it could be your uncle, it could be even someone you used to watch on TV, you know, like it really doesn't matter. It's a role model, but that masculine role model could have been, you know, distant. You know, when you're traveling, you gotta think Sagittarius is very detached, you know, so that yes, your father or that father role model, masculine role model, could have been very exciting in the sense they're always traveling, they're always out and about, but then very distant. So it could have felt like they were very cool and amazing, but just too far to touch, you know, just too much out of reach, you know, constant changes, you know, that creates that kind of detachment. And Sagittarius kind of have to be detached in order to be the way that they are. But yes, your father could have been very much of a traveler, religious, faith. That could have been also, you know, a manifestation. Maybe your father figure was very religious. So, you know, you had these strict rules, and it was all about beliefs and faiths, because, again, Sagittarius rules your faith. But maybe that religion made you want to, like, be free and, you know, free yourself from it, you know, and Sagittarius rules freedom. So that can manifest in that way. Also, your father figure, the masculine figure, could have been very exciting, very spontaneous, very energetic. You just never knew what was going to happen, which is, you know, fun and sometimes scary too, because you don't know what's going to happen. But yes, your father, masculine figure, could have been a traveler, very exciting, very spontaneous, very energetic, but also kind of detached, not too much in reach. Like maybe it was sometimes you wanted your father to be, you know, around more. You wanted that masculine figure, whoever, to be around more, and they can't because they're always traveling. Also, faith, philosophy, beliefs, spirituality, things of a higher belief were important as well too. That could have been represented in your masculine figure too. Maybe they were very philosophical, always teaching you something about the world, about life in general. So very, very, very inspirational people, but also can be very detached, okay? And it can also manifest in having a father figure or masculine figure that's very strict and that caused you to want to free yourself from the faiths and the religions and the beliefs that were put onto you. So definitely a huge manifestation, and that's how it influences you and your personality. So yes, that's Sun Sagittarius. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a very exciting sign placement. These people are super energetic, super lucky, super optimistic. It's just a bright light position. I mean, you always can have fun with a Sun Sagittarius. You know, just be careful with just going too far, because again, Sun Sagittarius, sometimes they don't know their limits and they can really be extra and do the most. But regardless, it's such a bright, fun, exciting sign, and I hope you guys enjoyed that, okay? That is Sun Sagittarius, and if you did, you can certainly book a reading with me. I do astro readings, birth natal chart readings, as well as tarot. All you gotta do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com, and I'll surely get back to you. And thanks for watching. I'll check you guys out on the next video.